Okay, so let's talk about the word hustle. We hear it everywhere, right? It's glorified, it's put on t-shirts, it's become this badge of honor for anyone who's ambitious. But what if that hustle culture we celebrate is actually hiding something a lot more expensive? We're going to dive in and unpack the real price of that daily grind. If you've ever been to Lagos, or even just heard about it, you've probably come across this phrase. It's a motto, a hashtag. It feels like pure, raw ambition. It captures the energy of a city that just does not stop dreaming. But if you look just a little bit closer, you start to see the real story behind that slogan. And that right there is the big question we're tackling today. When the need to just survive is a constant, when your nervous system literally never gets a break, does that ambition start to morph into something else? Is all that constant motion really a sign of progress, or is it a symptom of trauma? Yeah, what we often call the Lagos hustle. Sometimes it's just chronic burnout that's dressed up really well. It's wearing a sharp suit and a confident smile. It's what happens when every single day is a fight, not just for your big dreams, but for the basic things that, well, they should just work. Just think about the mental load here. These phrases, they're basically a daily checklist for survival. It's not just about getting things done. It's this constant low-level hum of anxiety in the back of your mind. You're always calculating, always problem-solving. Your brain is in a permanent state of high alert. It never, ever truly rests. So, to really get a handle on this, let's do a little compare and contrast. Let's tell a tale of two cities through the eyes of two professionals. One is navigating the incredible chaotic energy of Lagos. The other? They're in the structured, but sometimes pretty isolating reality of London. They're both grinding hard, for sure. But their battles, they look very different. Okay, so in Lagos, your day kicks off with a literal physical battle against traffic. It is loud, it's unpredictable, and it completely drains your battery before you even step into the office. Now, over in London, the commute might be predictable, the train shows up on time, but it can be this really lonely, silent journey. It's a whole different kind of mental exhaustion. And what about the money? Oh, the financial drain is there in both places. It just wears a different outfit. In Lagos, your salary gets nibbled away by things that the city's infrastructure should really be taking care of, like power. Meanwhile, in London, that same paycheck gets absolutely devoured by systemic costs. We're talking astronomical rent and childcare. The pressure on your wallet, it's the same. The pressure points are also totally different. In Lagos, you're dealing with very tangible things. Will the lights stay on? Is this area safe? But abroad, the challenges shift. It might be the invisible weight of your immigration status, or trying to build a credit score from scratch. You're basically trading one set of anxieties for a completely new one. And this is the absolute truth bomb. Moving, or japa, as many Nigerians call it, which literally means to flee, it doesn't mean you've magically escaped the fight. Nope. You've just signed up for a different army, on a totally different battlefield, with a whole new rulebook you have to learn. The struggle itself, that's universal. And this is exactly where our two stories meet. It doesn't matter if you're stuck in traffic on the Third Mainland Bridge or squeezed into the London Underground. That relentless grind, day in and day out, it leads to the exact same place, burnout. It's the one enemy that will find you no matter what your address is. And this is what burnout really looks like, behind the shiny, curated social media posts. It's not just, oh, I'm a little tired. No, it's a deep, chronic fatigue that settles in your bones. It's that constant hum of anxiety. It's making so many tiny decisions all day that your brain just throws its hands up and quits. And it's that shocking diagnosis of high blood pressure at 35 that nobody ever wants to talk about. Let's just let that sink in for a second. When your own personal effort is the only thing holding your world together, when there are no support systems to back you up, your ambition starts to eat you alive. It's just not sustainable. It's a slow-motion form of self-destruction. So if the grind is universal and burnout is everywhere, what's the real difference between these two experiences? Well, it all boils down to one thing, the system you're working within. And that is the absolute heart of the issue. This right here is the game changer. In a place like Lagos, you often have to be the system. You are your own power company, your own security guard, your own water board. In London, even when you're burning out, there are structures in place that are designed to catch you. Things like labor laws, a national healthcare system, social safety nets. They don't prevent the fall, but they do cushion the landing. And financially, this is so important to understand. When you're in an environment with weak infrastructure, you're not just earning to build a future, you're earning to plug the holes in the present. a huge chunk of your money goes into paying for basic services that should already exist. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has a giant hole in the bottom. So, knowing all of this, we have to change the conversation. This isn't about a simple choice, like should I stay or should I go? It's about asking a much smarter, much more personal question. So often, we frame this as a simple choice. Do I stay here and tough it out, or do I leave and escape? But honestly, that question is a trap. It makes a super complex issue way too simple, and it pretty much sets you up for disappointment no matter which one you choose. Now this is the better question, the much more powerful question. How do I, personally, start designing a life that actively minimizes chaos and maximizes structure no matter where I am on the map? See how that shifts the power? It puts it right back in your hands. It's not about escaping a place. It's about becoming the architect of your own life. Okay, so that sounds good, but how do you actually do that? It all starts with having a real, concrete plan to go from just reactively hustling to proactively designing your life. So let's walk through what that framework could look like right now. All right, let's break this down. Step 1, audit your energy. Get really honest about what's draining you. Is it the traffic or is it the loneliness? Pinpoint the real problem. Step 2, design systems. This means creating real boundaries to protect your time and your mental health. Step 3, think long-term. Get out of survival mode. Step 4, if you're considering a move, make it strategic. Base it on data, not just a bad mood. And finally, step 5, and this is maybe the most important one, build your community. Isolation is like gasoline on the fire of burnout. This really just says it all, doesn't it? Your energy is not an infinite resource. If you constantly spend it without ever recharging, you are on a one-way trip to exhaustion. And if all that hustle isn't channeled inside a supportive structure, it stops being productive and, honestly, it starts being traumatic. And that's really the big takeaway here. The goal isn't just to run away from your problems. The real goal is to build a sustainable life, a life where your hard work actually adds up, where your effort builds something that lasts, instead of just getting you through one more day. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Take an honest look at your own grind, your own daily battles. Are you stuck in that reactive cycle of just hustling, just trying to keep your head above water? Or are you consciously and deliberately designing the life you actually want to live? Because the answer to that question, it changes everything.